Good afternoon and welcome to Pakistan Today News from our London studio. I'm Chris Taylor. We begin with escalating tensions in the Middle East, where the United States and Iran remain at the center of growing geopolitical uncertainty. U.S. President Donald Trump says Washington wants involvement in the process of choosing Iran's future leadership. However, he described the possibility of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's son taking power as unacceptable. Meanwhile, Iran has announced a new wave of attacks named True Promise 4. Explosions and air raid sirens have been reported across Tel Aviv following missile launches toward Israel, raising concerns of further regional escalation as both sides continue to exchange threats and military actions. In Washington, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the United States is not expanding its military objectives in Iran. Speaking to reporters, Hegseth stressed that current operations remain limited in scope. He said Washington's focus is on weakening Iran's military capabilities and preventing Tehran from developing nuclear weapons. The defense secretary added that the United States does not seek a wider war in the region, but will continue to take necessary steps to protect its national interests and allies in the Middle East. Meanwhile, President Trump has also urged Iranian diplomats around the world to request asylum as tensions with Tehran intensify. In a statement reported by Reuters, Trump called on members of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, as well as the country's military and police forces, to surrender. He warned that continuing to fight would only result in more casualties. Trump also said Iranian diplomats seeking asylum could assist the United States in shaping what he described as a new and better Iran, a remark that is likely to draw strong reactions from Tehran. Turning now to Lebanon, authorities say the death toll from recent Israeli strikes has risen sharply. According to the Lebanese Health Ministry, at least 123 people have been killed and 683 others wounded in attacks carried out earlier this week. Officials describe the strikes as part of ongoing Israeli aggression, while emergency teams continue rescue and medical operations across affected areas. The humanitarian situation is worsening, with hospitals and relief organizations struggling to cope with the growing number of casualties and displaced civilians. In aviation news, the United Arab Emirates national carrier Etihad Airways has announced it will resume a limited commercial flight schedule starting March 6, 2026. The airline says flights will operate between Abu Dhabi and several key international destinations. Passengers with previous bookings will be accommodated on available flights as soon as possible, while new tickets are also available online. Etihad has advised travelers not to go to the airport unless they have been contacted directly by the airline or hold a confirmed booking. The decision was made in coordination with relevant authorities following detailed safety and security assessments. A new report also suggests that Gulf states could review their overseas investments as financial pressures grow due to the ongoing conflict involving Iran. According to the Financial Times, governments across the Gulf are assessing ways to ease pressure on national budgets following the recent U.S. and Israeli attacks on Iran. Officials say the conflict could affect investment pledges to foreign countries and companies, along with sports sponsorship deals, business contracts, and potentially the sale of overseas assets if the war and its financial costs continue at the current pace. Let's take a closer look at the economic impact of the crisis. For more on this, we go to our London correspondent, James Wood.
Global markets are reacting cautiously as tensions in the Middle East continue to escalate. Investors remain concerned that a prolonged conflict involving Iran, Israel, and the United States could disrupt energy supplies and trade routes. Financial analysts here in London say uncertainty has already led to increased volatility in commodities and equity markets. While some governments are signaling measures to stabilize energy supply, many investors remain on edge about the potential long-term economic consequences. Much will depend on whether diplomatic channels can prevent the crisis from expanding further.
Finally, stock markets across Asia mostly fell on Friday as the escalating conflict involving Iran, Israel, and the United States unsettled global investors. According to Reuters, equities worldwide have been under pressure as the Middle East crisis drives uncertainty in financial markets. Oil prices, which had surged earlier in the week, showed a slight decline after Washington signaled steps to ease supply concerns. Analysts warn that if the conflict continues, it could fuel inflation and further impact the global economy. That's all for now. You're watching Pakistan Today News. I'm Chris Taylor.